Imagine spending years building a home. You pour your life savings into the foundation, the framing, and the roof. But when it's finally finished, you leave the front door wide open and stick a sign in the yard disclaiming responsibility for anything that happens inside. Many founders do this digitally every day. Launching a website or an app without a formal agreement is the equivalent of leaving that front door wide open for any visitor to walk through. Locking that door requires the mechanism shown here, the terms of use and privacy policy. Most people ignore these protections entirely. Mindy Kaling summarized this behavior, noting she just hits accept and iTunes might own her ovaries. This classic iTunes interface represents the era when blindly scrolling past legal text became a universal habit. We learned to click accept as quickly as possible just to get to the product. These rules function like the no running signs at a public pool. Posting those rules creates a legal boundary that shields the pool owner from liability when a visitor eventually slips and falls. Operating without these terms removes your primary legal defense. If a user suffers a loss or misuse occurs, your business assets are left exposed because you haven't established the ground rules of the relationship. To build that defense, you can focus on 3 specific compliance checkpoints. First, ensure your terms are clearly stated and meet the requirements of modern data laws like GDPR. Second, use established companies in your industry as structural baselines to understand what standard protections look like for your specific niche. Third, you must maintain the document. This involves updating policies as laws change and providing formal notice to your users. Pause the video for 5 minutes. Select one of these 3 checkpoints and write down the specific step you will take to address it this week. Committing to one of these tasks ensures you are actively identifying gaps in your legal armor instead of waiting for a crisis to reveal them. When looking at industry baselines, there is a temptation to simply copy and paste a competitor's terms to avoid the cost of drafting your own. This creates significant risk. A copied document often contains references to services you don't provide, or even worse, leaves the competitor's company name inside your own binding contract. Treat these documents as a structural map. They show you which headers and categories are standard for your industry, but the specific language must reflect your actual operations. While templates help you start, this graphic reminds us that professional legal counsel is required to ensure your contracts are clear, easy to understand, and legally sound. Saving on legal fees by plagiarizing terms creates a false sense of security. It leaves you with a flawed shield that is likely to fail the moment it is tested in a courtroom. Drafting legal terms can feel like a chore, but it is a way to respect the work you've put into your business. You are defining the rules that keep your creations safe. This is an ongoing process. As shown here, requirements change frequently, requiring constant attention. And even if only 1% of users read the fine print, these terms remain the legally binding foundation of every transaction on your platform. If a user misused your service today, which specific clause in your current terms would protect your business from the fallout? Long-term success requires both a great product and the legal foresight to ensure that product cannot be taken away from you on a technicality.